So continuing with the OCR calculator paper, I'm just making it into 2 videos so that it's not too big and too long. Okay, so this is carrying on from page 7, question number 6. The amount of carbon dioxide produced of flying is proportional to the distance. 32 tons of carbon dioxide will be produced with a 1,000-kilometre flight. The distance to Spain is 1,500. How much carbon dioxide will produce? Okay, just help me with those numbers. I'll just put a comma there. Okay, so I think of it as a ratio question. 32 tons for 1,000 kilometres. We need to know 1,500. So I'm thinking here, if we go from there to there, I'm timesing by 1.5. Okay, what you do to one side, you do to the other. So this side, I'm going to times by 1.5. Okay, and I've got my answer as 48. So 48 tons. Not so bad. But it is really bad because I'm not sure what 32 tons, 48 tons of carbon dioxide does sound bad. We take it for granted that we can fly where we want and it's quite cheap nowadays. Cost of flights is going to go up after the virus. Companies are going to go bust. Oh dear. A tree takes in 0.02 tons of carbon dioxide in a year. Leia says the amount of carbon dioxide taken by 100 trees in 10 years will be more than produced in a flight. Gosh. Just the numbers, just carbon dioxide being absorbed by a tree. Okay, so let's see what she's saying. Is Leia correct? So 0.02 tons of carbon dioxide a tree tree. So if we times that by 100 and then times by another 10 years. Okay, I'm going to ask my calculator, but I haven't got it. So times by 100 goes 1, 2, times by another 1. So I've got an answer of 20. Is she correct? No. So that means it will take 200 trees, 10 years to absorb amount of carbon dioxide. That's a lot of trees. People are going around chopping down trees. So it's bad. There are 189 passenger seats on the plane. There are 2 types of seats, economy and business. Business is the posh seats that nobody can afford unless a company's buying them. 2/3 of the seats are economy. How many seats are within economy? 2/3. 2/3 times 189. Ask your calculator. Comes out the answer 126. All passenger seats are booked. The ratio. Passenger seats are booked. The ratio of children to adults is 2 to 7. How many books? Okay. So ratio question again. I'm just going to write kid here because it's quicker than children. Kid to adult. And I'll put a total. So the thing is with ratios, you remember that you might need a total. You might not need a total, but you might. So there's 2 kids for every 7 adults. Okay. How many adults are booked on the flight? So we know that there's 189 seats. So I'm using some kind of 9 times something equals 189. So obviously on my calculator I do 189 divided by 9 to get 21. So I can see that 9 times 21 is that number. So how many adults? Times the 7 by 21. I get my adults as 147. That's all I need to do, but it's easy enough to just times kids by 21 as well. I'll do that one in my head, which is 42, and then just double check there that 42 plus 147 is 189 that we wanted, so that's good. Okay. There are 67 window seats. The seats are randomly given to passengers. Circle the word that best describes. Okay. So how many seats was there in the first place? So there's 189, 63 are in the window. Okay. I see those two numbers there. I see that they're all divisible by 3. I'll put that into my calculator. 63 divided by 189 is a third. Which word describes a third? Well, impossible, I'll just remind you. Impossible means 0, no chance. Certain means definitely going to happen. A third, even, is half. 50-50 chance, even chance. So a third is going to be on the unlikely scale. And probably give your answer as a fraction simplest form. Okay. That's interesting. The first marker was only 1 for saying unlikely. And then the fraction form, that's worth 2 marks, cancelling fractions down. Okay. Right. A bag allowed in the cabin must fit in this basket. Leia's bag is 4, these are in millimetres, so I'm going to just change them to centimetres. 48 cm by means times 56 cm by 20 cm. Will it fit? Well, that distance is okay. 48 would fit there, but this one is not fitting. So no. Okay, let's look at the marking scheme. It just says with supporting evidence. So, no. So we've got the answer no there, but with supporting evidence. So you've got to show that you're doing some kind of working out there. Spain is 1 hour ahead of UK. For example, when it's 1 p.m. in England, it's 2 p.m. in Spain. The plane takes off at 18:20. Takes 2.5 hours, so I'm just going to add, I can do 2.5 hours easy enough. So 20:50. That's 20:50 English time, so I'm going to add an hour to make it into French time. Spanish time. It's because I only ever go to France. I don't go to Spain. We don't fly. Okay, so the landing 21:50, so 9:50, it's nearly 10 o'clock at night. Lane and friends should arrive at the apartment 1 hour after they land. That's good going. Seems they've got to unload and get the baggage and go through passport, whatever. Okay, so we get another hour. So that makes it 22:50. Estimate they'll get there in Spanish time. Yes. 22:50 is the same as 23 Spanish time. Okay, I'm really not happy with 24-hour clock. I'm converting all them times into real 12-hour clock for my head, but I don't need to write that. So yes, correct answer. So we got that answer. Layers looking on the map. 1 centimetre represents 8k. So again, ratio, there's lots of ratio questions. We didn't used to have so much ratio questions, but you did have to do a scale drawing, which is really hard. Let's look on the map. 1 centimetre represents 8k. The distance between the airport and the apartment is 4.5. So again, ratio, I'm just timesing. I'm thinking, how do I get from there to there? Times by 4.5. So times the 8k by 4.5. Okay, times 4.5 is 36 km. So here, if you didn't write your km, you would have lost a mark. Okay, so this is what I say to you, always about showing your units. Naturally, I write 1 centimetre is the equivalent of 8 kilometres. So I know exactly where I'm putting the 4.5. It goes on the centimetre side. My answer's in the kilometres side. I'm British, so I'm not happy with kilometres, but I can cope with that answer. Okay. But kilometres is easiest to use, so that's great. The apartment has 2 bedrooms. The plan shows the floor of each room. Layer wants the largest floor space. So this one is 6 by 4, which is 24 meters squared. Okay, this one, if I chop it here, we got 2 times 2, which is 4, and here we've got 5 times 4.2, which is 21. Oh, there's a sign missing there. So 21 plus 4 is 25. Obviously, which room should you choose? This one's called room 2. Okay. Oh, I don't know if you noticed, I don't really write in the box, mainly because my handwriting is too big. Normally when I'm doing it on the board, I know I'm going to run out of space. I like to write on the diagrams. I like to show what I'm thinking. In the marking scheme, it says, as long as you've got evidence of your work there, I think the box is just to encourage you to show your working out, but it doesn't have to be in the box. Okay, we got that answer right, that's good. I'm excited now. Last question. Nearly the end, and it's nearly my lunchtime, so I'm quite pleased with how much I've done today. The apartment has a rectangular pool. The pool is 10 metres long by 5 metres wide. I was thinking, how deep is it? But then I realised it's the next line. At the end of the holiday, they add a cleaning product to the water in the pool. They must use 1 cup of cleaning product for every 10 metres cubed water. The pool is 100 centimetres deep. Okay, so straight away, I'm saying I want to write it's 1.8 meters deep. I want to write it there, but I won't. So the volume is 10 meters times 5 meters times 1.8 meters. So we got 90 meters cubed. It says 10 cubic meters, same thing. So what we're saying there is 1 cup for 10 meters, for 10 cubic meters. So for 90 cubic meters, we're going to have to times by 9. Is she correct? No. She reckoned 90, we only need 9 cups. Okay, 9 cups. So there you go, end of that one. That's good. So looking at the marking scheme, see what you can mark yourself. Even if I know how to mark properly, if you can mark part of it or most of it with marking scheme, I'm happy. It gives you a good idea of what you've done. I was thinking, I've just seen it was out at 60. So again, if you go back to the front cover, write your mark at 60. Um, so if you got 30 out of 60, convert that into a percentage, and it gives you an idea that that's not a good score. Making a note on the front of which questions you found difficult, which words you found difficult. Here you can see I've made a note that we did some converting from millimetres to centimetres with the bag, and again centimetres to metres with the swimming pool we've just done. I made a note that it was a line graph, not a bar chart. When I was teaching last year, it always seemed to be bar charts, so now this is a line. It was nice that they did all the work for you, so it's about plotting those points accurately. I've made a note there about ratio questions. There seem to be quite a few ratio questions. So ratio questions 6, 7b, and a map, and the volume of the pool, which is something that I think students find difficult. Need to do more practice. Okie dokie. Bye bye.